to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. First item of business is approval of the June 19th study session minutes.
Do we want to talk about that quarterly change? Was that last meeting or meeting before?
We would have to move the agenda.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that something?
With the, yeah, we'll do that after we get past the
Okay.
comment.
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of the bills list.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next up, public comments.
You want to?
My name's Marilyn Pearson, and I live at 618 Vernon Road. And I was coming in because 25 years ago, the mayor gave me a permit to build a garage on lot 118. And my house is on 117. But he gave me permit that the mayor signed, a special permit to build the garage. And he said that I couldn't sell my home unless I sold the lot next door with it. So it was, I'm coming to see if I can amend that. And I bought the property, I live at lot 117, garage is on 119, or it's on 118, and then I bought 119 on the very end. Well, the county has come now, and they added lot 119 and 118 together for the 25 tax period. So that's gonna make a conflict with this, that the mayor.
And so what is your ask of us?
I'm asking that they amend the one that I had signed 25 years ago.
Do not require the 118 and 117 to be sold together, or?
That's right.
We have counsel today. Is that something we can, I mean, I guess they stipulated to it 20 years ago. Is that something we can really hold them up to?
Well, the council can decide. I don't know if we can do it right now.
Okay.
Do they need a copy of this?
That'd probably be good.
Yeah.
Because the clerk said she didn't know that anything like this existed.
Yeah, so we'll need some time to look into that and see if we can locate that in the records and
Okay.
make a determination after we know what's going on.
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
within our scope. I don't have any hard feelings about it one way or the other, but I don't know
Okay.
if it's what in our purview to
Okay,
say.
thank you.
But if you give us a copy of it, we'll get it to the right people.
Sure will.
Look into it.
Thank you.
You betcha. Any other? All right, well, I'll put that on in the comments piece, because I don't know that it's us. We need to verify whether or not that was, action was taken or not. Item one, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding liability waiver on the release agreement. You saw that Mr. Mershon wanted to store some hay down by the wastewater treatment plant in exchange for maintaining the property. And we wanted to have something that if a wayward bottle rocket or something set it all on fire, that we're not on the hook for the value of that. So there's a release document in here that Mr. Felsen wrote up for us.
So we've already got that signed.
No, I just wanted to
This
make
is
sure
the
that
proposal there.
that you, yeah, the action is would the council approve that document, so then I'll sign it. It's on page 21 if you're looking on that tablet.
this isn't a lease or anything, right? This isn't anything that, so if we need that property, we can say, hey, we need access to that property, is that correct?
That's my understanding.
Huh?
That would be my understanding.
Did we, I know Joe talked about them digging over that area for clay and stuff. Did we ever decide whether that was good, bad, or different for doing this?
That's on the other side.
It's on the other side?
Yeah, it's on the upper portion, right by, you know, you come through the gate, go past the horse arena, and then you go to the second gate to go, used to be the old dump site, is that filled up to hill.
Okay, I took you to say last time that they were digging in that area.
No.
Okay.
No.
So the hay would be stored in the area where the arena is at.
Yeah, it's actually, he's right by some local down, it's actually in the horse arena.
Council did draw this up, did they not?
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any additional discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I will get that signed and get it in. Discussion, consideration, and action regarding no chance gaming machines. We discussed this like a year or two ago. I don't know what brought this back to the agenda.
Somebody was interested in bringing in some, rent a building here in town. I've got that from 2 different people. So I checked around other cities. They're in other cities. Gaming's not messing with them right now. They're waiting on a lawsuit going on in Springfield, but those are all games that were slipped into businesses that already existed. And this would be just for that, which to me would make it more of a casino at that
That's what I
point.
learned.
So we should have the ability to deny that business license, in my opinion, but I'm not, that's more for legal, but.
So there's litigation concerning these machines in Springfield right now. And then there's also some legislature coming down the pipeline. And so you do not have to allow these machines in, and we would recommend a moratorium pending the outcome of that legislation and litigation.
Is there a limit if we wanted to put some kind of cap that you're gonna pay us $1,000 per machine per month or something? Is there anything that permits that, or?
That I do not know, but we can certainly find out for you. I don't know if there's a cap.
I share your desire. I don't really want them, but at a price, I might compromise.
We can certainly find out for you, Mayor.
We got a wastewater treatment plant to fix.
So the Missouri bill, I thought it stalled. Is it still in motion?
It's still pending.
Okay.
It's still under discussion.
Because whenever they left session, from what I read, that they let it set, so. And then I read some more things that the Missouri Gaming Commission said these machines are absolutely illegal. So,
And that's why we recommend waiting until we know how they're gonna come down on it, because you might get them in there and then, so.
Any other questions? Sit on that until we know more. Thank you. So discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding fireworks on July the 5th. It's my understanding that folks are wondering,
Yeah, we get,
with Saturday being the
Casey,
5th.
the last couple days, Casey's been getting swamped with phone calls, since it's on the weekend. People want to know if they can still shoot them off on Saturday. And like I said, according to our orders, July 4th at 11 o'clock, you're done. And so I told my friend on the board, just get you guys' opinion or guidance on how you want to handle that. You know, if you want to stick by the ordinance or.
My thought is, well, I know we can suspend the rules and push something through, I think legitimately, to give people who would be opposed an opportunity to be heard, that it wouldn't really serve their interest to do that on the eve of the holiday, and then say we're gonna let them do it on this weekend. I would recommend against it, but I can certainly, if the council feels strongly, you can put forth a motion.
As usual, I have an opinion. All right. I can still remember when
That's
I
the
was
one
12,
like you.
13, 14 years old with a packet full of firecrackers in my pocket, and I sure would have hated not to have been able to dispose of the old-fashioned way. The second thing is, I don't know that we want Butler PD to be answering all these calls and running all over Butler trying to figure out who shot off the firecracker.
Correct.
They have other duties that they need to be doing, watching 24 and BB and whatever else calls they receive, so I don't think you can stop them anyway.
No, I think other than, but before we alter the ordinance, I mean, I think we give them discretion on enforcement. Just like if they're going 26 and a 25, we don't mandate they write a ticket. If it's one firecracker, one bottle rocket, it's probably not a big deal. If it's a full-on mini display, it might be more of an issue. But that's my take on it. Is there any interest in altering the ordinance?
And the ordinance is to not to have it.
At 11 o'clock on the
11 o'clock on the
4th.
4th.
I move to allow it to carry through the 5th.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hey,
Mr. Walcott, I didn't hear you on.
I'm indifferent.
Abstain?
So, I guess we're not setting a precedent, but what happens when the 4th falls on a Wednesday or a
We'll
Tuesday?
deal with it.
I'd like to know the chief's, view on it. I mean, they're gonna shoot them anyway without us making an ordinance.
They've been shooting them for 2 weeks. My opinion is, leave the ordinance alone, and unless we get complaints, we're not gonna go stop them from shooting anyway.
And I'd say nay.
So just a point of clarification, we are not altering the ordinance. This is a one-time special allowance for this year only. If you want to amend the ordinance, we can do that, but that's not what we're doing right now.
I got it.
Let's say, so we're 2 for and 2 against. For my previous stated reason, I'll support the nays. And Chief, just use your best judgment, what you think you need to do. It sounds like you got a good plan. Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding payment of insurance policy from the Parks Operation Fund. As we went through the thing with the Keith Insurance gentleman last time, we saw that, I think the premium is 112,000, I can't remember, 120,000. 121. When you look at the total of the assets, it's about 10 million is the total for the city, and about 1 million of that is parks. So just kind of, I know the Spring Park's 386,000 of that, I think. It just was to take the insurance, take a percentage of the insurance proportional to what the coverage is, and just take that out of the operations fund. That would free up some other money again for wastewater treatment, streets.
And that's a legal thing we can do.
Yes.
like to hear from the park board.
Madam President,
How much, do you know?
it'd be about $12,000 a year.
I mean, I would have to look over our budget because we don't have so much in operation. And we've already transferred 20% over now of our capital funds, so I mean, that's a big chunk.
That can't come out of capital improvement money though, can it?
Well, in the sense that we could change the ordinance to allow the insurance to, the percentage change or whatever, there could be a netted in there to include the insurance, because that's kind of like the maintenance and upkeep is part and parcel of maintaining the park, keeping it insured, because if it's not insured, then somebody goes and tears the pump house up or the water features, that's keeping it covered.
And that operations, somehow I have it stuck in my head that it has to be for improvements.
Well, that ordinance, I think, as it's currently stated, says that they're taking 10% of the money for upkeep and maintenance of the.
Okay, so we'll have to change the ordinance first then.
I don't know, I mean, would this be considered part of the operating cost of, I mean, I would consider it an operational expense.
Yes.
We don't have to change it. Okay.
Not knowing the exact number, whenever you're taking 20% from capital improvement money already and putting into operating expense, if that number would be $25,000, $30,000, and then you're gonna take $12,000, you're gonna take a half or close to it, just to pay the insurance, that's not gonna leave much for operating expense.
I don't know that there, again, we'd have to go back through it line by line, but I don't know if there's a lot of expense. I mean, that's really what your expenses, that's what the, part of the reason for creating that operating account.
Right now,
was.
they're using pretty much all of the operating expense just to make things get by the way it is. And then something else being thrown at them today. Now we've got to figure out how the parks can get mowed for the next couple of weeks, because we've got a big event coming and we don't have any city employees to mow. So, you know, then they got to figure out stuff like that. We have to do that with volunteers or something to make that happen. So there's definitely a bad blood going on with it.
Can we get the numbers? Can we crunch the numbers and then bring them, and then run them by the lawyer again?
Well, I mean, I know it's 10% of 120, it's 12, it's about 1 month of the tax that they bring in off of the use tax.
Yeah, we know how much the insurance costs, but the exact dollar amount that is being put into operating and then how much it's costing to operate the park, you go to taking 12,000 away from that, that's gonna really reduce the operating fund, you know, the ability.
And you could spread that at $1,000 a month, you don't necessarily have to
Sure.
do a single payment.
Yeah,
But they bring in about 12,000 a month
Right.
from taxes.
At least on the use tax. Well, I mean, we can hold that till next time if the folks get more information, feel better about it. You can just kind of, before the next meeting, get Joe something on what the expenses look like, and we'll go through that. Bill number 2503, ordinance number 1098, an ordinance establishing section 625.050 of the Buckner Municipal Code and establishing an effective date. And the background on that is, I believe, the legislation that was sent bill that changed the amount of percentage that we can take of for the easement on cable and other TV providers. And so it goes down, I think, 0.5% per year for the next 3 years.
yeah.
So that's modifying our ordinance to bring it into compliance with Senate Bill number 163.
Motion to approve.
I think we have to suspend the rule.
No, motion to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, second reading, bill number 2503, ordinance number 1098, an ordinance establishing section 625.050 of the Buckner Municipal Code and establishing an effective date. You can fix that typo in there. Any discussion?
Move to approve.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Jones?
Aye.
Alderman Frye?
Aye.
Alderman Walker?
Aye.
Alderman Lewis? Aye.
So, pass. Elected officials' comments, one thing I wanted to bring up is we're getting closer on the financing for wastewater treatment. We did look at D.A. Davidson in addition to Central Bank. They said the rate that we were being quoted by Central Bank was actually better than what D.A. Davidson could produce, so they suggested we go with Central Bank. I think we're around, what, 5 1/4?
Something under, yeah. Depending on when close with the rates are.
And, yeah, I think the premium was around $12,000 a month, and $72,000 was said for 6 months. I believe. Is that Does that sound right? Yeah. I was borrowing $700,000 for 5 years. Looking at what our income per account is, that would be manageable. And we've got that, I think, dollar rate increase in January, so that would help defray a little bit of that. But that keeps our interest expense down, I think, a little under 200,000, which is more than I'd like, but at least we're only paying it for 5 years and not 10 or 20 years, so that's what I've got. So, don't have anything obviously tonight to vote on, but just wanted to update you on where we were at on that. We are moving forward, but I think, if you looked on the bills list, there was a withdrawal on the ARPA account, I think around 170,000, which will put us around 200,000 remaining in that ARPA account. So the timing, we would have this teed up to get the loan approved before the 1st of August, so that then we can finish the project off. But also, I think, as we look at, I know that Bartlett West has indicated that there may be, there's no state regulation currently on the phosphate, but that we might need to look at a phase 2. By doing the 5 years, we can use that, see what regulations change, and then do a phase 2 if we need to, versus committing that other $1 million plus today, since there's no mandate to do so. Not to say that we don't want to do what's right, best for the environment, but again, given that right now, our water sewer fund's got $190,000 in it, so we're not setting a spare $1 million. So kind of stretch this as long as we can without having to write the big check. And this would also not encumber any of our revenue streams. This would only be the, like I say, biannual payments of around $72,000. So otherwise, I thank everyone for, any other comment? Mr. Norton?
Without notice, we took away the general public's ability to get rid of burnable waste down at the sewer treatment plant. I think we should look at finding a new place to do that.
And we'll put that on for next meeting.
We can. Joe and I was talking about that. Did you check that place out there at Gray Valley, off Pink Hill Road?
I just online, and I tried calling them against the phone at the time.
Well, we're working on that, but they're open. They're open on Saturday. It's like $10 per pickup load every Saturday. It's Jackson County.
Right.
And all they take is brush and stuff.
Right, but if we took away the public's free drop here, where they don't have to drive to another city to do it, I think we should look at having a place here in town.
I don't disagree with that, but as far as,
A backup plan. Yeah.
well, as far as burning it, that's the issue.
Well, it's because of those reed beds we're putting down there.
Anyway, there's other alternatives in the meantime till we find that.
It's just the fact that we didn't give anybody any notice, we just said it's closed.
I also talked to AAA, and you can buy 20 of those bags for $50. And look, if you put brush and whatever, and they'll pick it up with your normal trash if you have AAA. Or you can go buy those bags, and you could load, if you wanted to fill all 20, you could put them in your pickup and take them across the scale, and they'll take them. Once you pay for them, they won't charge you when you come across the scale.
How many bags does it take to put down a tree that I got down?
Then your option would be Jackson County. But it's only, you're talking $10. I thought was pretty cheap.
Yeah, it is.
Well, thank you everyone for coming this evening. Be safe, and I'll see you all in a couple of weeks if I can get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Stand adjourned.